welcome back. You're still watching Lumen Morning Diary. Right about now, we've just been joined by our guest for today, who is Paul Simon Phiri, an author of two books, which is It Is Never Enough and I Wish to Blame. Paul is also the CEO of Gifted Minds. Oh, good morning and good to have you on Lumen Morning Diary.
Thank you so much. Good morning. It's an honor to be here.
Good morning, my brother.
Good. It's been long.
Yeah, I've been okay.
Awesome.
Don't know about you.
I can't complain. God is merciful.
Very.
We are pushing here and there.
Yes. For today, we are talking about raising responsible youths. Yes.
Are you a responsible youth, by the way?
Yeah. This is one of the things that should begin to trigger our nerves when we look at raising responsible youth. And you see, when we talk of a youth, I would like to look at a youth as the foundation of humanity. So when the foundation of humanity is compromised, then we are going to talk about responsibility, and we're going to talk about someone who is responsible. So when we talk about raising responsible citizens or responsible people, I would like to look at what Nikola Tesla one time said of, in every generation of humanity, there should be a certain structure that is able to sustain the foundation and the beginning of the young people. And this is something that Jordan Peterson, I think, usually mentions. Say the young people at all age should be able to know, number one, themselves. They should appreciate who they are. Then number two, they should have a purpose and a vision. So when these things are cultivated in an early age in them, then we are going to have responsible people at the end of the day. However, we should be alive to the fact that when we talk about responsibility, especially to the young people, this is something that is vast. This is something that is vague because there are a lot of structures that have to be put in place. And one of the most formidable and important structure is the family. And if I'm to borrow one of the encyclicals that Pope Francis wrote, that is between 2020 up until 2022, The Joy of Love. He mentioned something that there is not any institution that can give an identity to the young people than the celebration of love. And that is found in the family, mother, father, or any guardian. So responsibility does not start at a certain age. But actually, responsibility begins even before the formation of the particular individual. And this begins with the father and the mother. So when we talk about raising responsible youths, let's also question what is the role of the family. So the family, one of the things that they should give the first primary, and I think this is something that I stressed in my book, I Wish to Blame, that the first thing, the first primus of a role that a parent should give to the children, number one, is the value of an identity. So our children should be able to know who they are. See, when we break down responsibility, responsibility looks to be a bigger word, but you're going to understand that responsibility borders on identity. It borders on value. It borders on who you are. It borders on your purpose. It borders on what you want to achieve and how you look at yourself. That is seen how the father disposes duties. That is also seen how the mother disposes their duties. Where a child at an early age, they can be taught what to do. They are appraised and affirmed and corrected to say, this is not how this is done. This should be done, this, like that, and that, and that. That's the most very important thing. So from that early stage, children will begin to know that this is what to bring out to the people. This is what to bring out to the church. This is what to bring out society. So one of the questions on is, say, raising responsible citizen or responsible youths. One of the question is, what is the family doing about it, and what is the understanding of the family? I love what Thomas More says. In every family there should be animus. The animus that is in its Greek Latin origin, but the most formidable understanding is there should be a soul that should be created in a family where each and every child should be able to know that this is what I'm supposed to do. Hard work comes from the family. How do you value work? How do you value understanding, education? All these values, they are seen from the family. So if in the family, they can see from the father that the father is responsible, the mother is responsible, we, the children, are going to pick it up from there. Furthermore, we come now to the education system. Now, when we come to the education system, I like to remember some of the words that Patrice Emery Lumumba from Congo said. To say, among us Africa, one of the things that we need is exorcism of the mind. Now,
I love that.
Raising responsible youths, we should also question the education that we have, the education system.
How?
You see,
elaborate.
There is a border difference between being schooled and being educated. Now, I'm going to pose this to the viewers if they were schooled or they were educated. Now, being schooled is something in education. I'm an educationist myself. So in education, there's what is known as churning. Churning is mastering. You just remember concept. And 2 or 3 days, you forget. Yesterday, being a Friday, I remember the grade 12 finished their grade 12s. But believe me, you sit down. This is an assignment I'm going to ask some of them. Sit a grade 12 now and ask them certain concept that they understand and how they can apply. They know nothing, they understand nothing. Actually, 90%, I'm not attacking the education system, but I think let me bring out certain facts. You're going to discover that the majority of them, they don't even know what they're going to do right now. So one of the things they just know is, okay, now let's begin to dance on TikTok. Let's just be all over social media. And I think this is the time we're going to have network problem because all the grade 12 now will be congested.
It's like there will be more concentration.
They do not have anything to Why? Because from grade 1 to grade 12, they were just only told to remember certain things, to be brilliant in memorizing certain things. But little did education made people to discover their talents, appreciate their gift. You are going to, not only the grade 12, actually, even the graduate. I'm also a graduate. You're going to discover that the only thing that you graduate from is to find a job.
Exactly.
Little do people say, I have graduated now, I am going to create jobs for others. So you're going to discover that a graduate is drunk, a graduate is in the street. Then you ask them, why are you wasting your life? They say, you see, that's a very careless word that someone can use, especially someone that is educated. Because someone who is educated should be able to see opportunities where problems are. So in this Rochedi, someone who is educated should be able to see an opportunity. Not to say the government did this.
Just on that one, sorry to cut you short, I want to find out, like, you've talked about responsibilities in families, what responsibilities should be taken. And you've touched a bit of education. Just therefore, I want to find out what values and life skills should be incorporated into Zambia's education system to promote responsibility.
So we look at the scope and the setup of Zambia. Here in Zambia, we have got land that promotes agriculture. We have got something that promotes mining. We have got something that promotes fishing. And we have got something that promotes mechanic and technology, because that's something that is being put in place. So some of the values and some of the skills that should be incorporated in the education system, number one, are skills that are survival in nature. Something that can start as early as grade 1 up to grade 7. Someone who is a grade 7, if they are to drop out of school, they can be able to survive, and there can be no difference between one who is educated and one who drops out. So let's bring deliberate policy where we teach people fishing. No, I'm not talking about you start naming parts of the fish. And I'm not talking about you start saying, give me types of fish. No. How do you go and fish? And how do you do fish farming? Exactly. So that's something that people should begin to learn at an early age. I'll give an example of what happens in China. If I'm to give an example, at grade 5, a child must know how to code. By grade 9, a child is able to make a website or a robot. But you look here in Zambia, what is it that a grade 9 can make? You know, the only thing, with all due respect, that they know is just how to find a pornographic website on the internet. That's what they're good at. But who made that website? You understand? So there should be skills that they should relate.
Okay.
That if they are to drop out, they know how to word. They know how to do agriculture. They know how to do fish farming. There is a disservice that has been done to education system lately. Because if I'm to say, I've got a master's degree and I'm doing farming, I'm going to look at, I'm one of the people that is not serious in life. One who is confused and one who is stranded. But look, this is how the setup of Zambia is. So there should be those values where we identify children, they identify their talent at an early age, and they incorporate their theory, but also their practical. I want to mention that some of the education prospects in our education system or curriculum, they are not practical. It is just theory. But if you are to bring them to say, can you now relate with what you learned? Most of them fail. Why? It's because we have depended so much on the theory and not on the practical. So there should be skills-based subjects as early as grade 1 up until grade 4. Such that if you are not gifted, because it's not all people that are gifted that they can go even to the university.
True. Some
people might just drop out of grade 12 and say, I think with me, I am done. I've not seen people that are mechanics and are doing better than a graduate.
There are lots of
actually,
people.
Someone who is a dropout is able to employ a master's degree holder. Why? This is because little do our education identify talents and gifts at an early age. So there should be this deliberate policy where to say, if I love agriculture, let me have a space where I exercise my agriculture. I'm in a work suit actually, but I'm at school. Such that if fate happened, I do not continue school, I'll be able to survive with agriculture. I'll be able to survive with fishing, and I'll be successful in that particular level. To me, that's something that I can say strongly that should be really promoted in education system.
Well, yeah, I totally agree with what you're saying. Earlier on, you mentioned about families being the foundation of raising a responsible youth. How can families and communities in Zambia model and reinforce responsible behavior in youths?
So there's a proverb which says that it takes the whole village to raise a child.
Exactly.
See, and there's a lot of conflict that is happening currently. Technology, vast information, and which most of them has been watered down, and it's not true. So one of the things that humanity, I'll use the word humanity. I'd like to go away with community and families. I'll use humanity. Humanity must go back to the understanding, the value of what a family is. And one of the values of a family is Ubuntu. So we should begin now to tell people that it is okay to live with other people, but with respect, with integrity. We should be able to foster young people at an age to tell them that we should live well with people, be kind, be good, and be understanding. Then, if we talk about communities should not label. I'm not baptizing or canonizing any kind of group gangs here, but the junk. We have often talked about the junks, if I'm just to give an example. Majanki. Maybe this is going to be a contradictory statement that I'm going to say. Majank is not the problem that we have in Zambia. The problem that we have in Zambia is failed family. And because, so Majank, that is a symptom of failure. The real failure is in homes, not in these young people. And why is that? This is because the expressive capability of the young people has not been granted. We just raise them and leave them there. We have never challenged them to be good people. We have never challenged them to value purpose, talents, gifts, and themselves. So we just leave them to say vazinkhala, vazikula, as long as wakula. So they are going to express themselves. If you follow what Sigmund Freud said, then most of people, we react from our childhood experiences. So you're going to discover that these young people, since because they're all over and they're everywhere, they're going to find people everywhere. And so they're going to find people that complement their ideas. Then therefore these gains begin to go on and on. So what families should begin to do is, let's create a platform, space, and an environment where children can express themselves, where children can pour out even if it is the gray area. Then let us learn to embrace children despite who they are. Let's embrace them with their talents, their differences, and everything that needs to be inculcated in them. That is how we begin to combat responsibility in them. And deliberately, communities, organizations, and associations, let them begin to come up with programs that will include the youths and give them a certain role to do. Just move around in compounds. You discover there's nothing really that can bring the youths together. What if deliberately we begin to bring people all together where there's a football match? After a football match, we have a talk with them. Not only that, providing opportunities for them, and organizations are going to say we provide opportunities for them, but those opportunities are accessed by few. But deliberately saying this kind of a compound, they're the ones that are going to have access to this. That is what we begin to give them the responsibility that they need. I think we have talked enough. We have documented a lot of documents, but I think let's go back background and begin to say this is what we should begin to bring. There should be a lot of reconciliation that should happen amongst the young people and families. Fathers should get to reconcile with their sons, with their daughters. Those that ran away from responsibility, this is the time to look at. So when you look at the junk as a father, that should begin to tell you of how much you failed and how much you failed as a father. When you look at young girls getting pregnant at an early age, with all due respect, that should tell you something as a mother how much you have failed one way or the other. So there should be this coming together.
We are still talking about raising responsible youths. That goes to the interviews that you had on the streets. Jenna, let's find out and hear what they had to say. We take a look at that.
Na kuanza tukaenda kumabiauro ine pano size yanga nina 44 ama nitana kuti vanakuru pamene ndisetifunika mabiauro mpezika twama 13 14 maudhabu sikaise kudhara mabiauro penze bolembiwa no under 18 years koma madezi anoya 18 years ndiye vene vake va 16 17 amene amateenager yanayo ndiye machampion so ise mokontrolera vana chitivuta mukulingana kuti tiyopa naise kumangiwa ukati umushapule ati na maraisi nkuperekani ku polisi so tiyopa futi veka vatuza ati early marriage iyayi omopezeka kuti mwana ana 14 years atavira kuchikwati kai sitimukontrolola ucha mwana so upezeka kuti vaziva musanga vamuna vana vamanje ka ise tonzomvera noshapulira so vamba tishapura vana madezi ano vana vamanje mayouth aya manje aya yaoneka nasi makolo tingakhaina problem koma ya mayouth ya manje vafuta vana vakuvalondolera kutiti vauze chinkhalidwe wanu ukafuna mukontrolola mwana maansazi yose ali nayo kudala uchita we mkulu ukamba naye adala na voku yanga so upezeka kuti olo mwana ali wako so uyopa kumukontrolola chifukwa ukapitiriza maningi kumukontrolola upezeka kuti ata mwamangwala achita bwanji ati nkuperekani kokuperekani kuchinji uko ati kuchinji ku human rights uko so manje upezeka kuti ise makolo tiyopa vana vatu vozibalira teka so inaniona kuti government sengeti atirekako makolo paja petiuza vana vazititandizira mau ine pano mwana wanga akakwasa 17 years koma ninaye munyumba akapanga mistake nikampereka ku polisi vamanipweza naye vakamba kuti akanga imwe amai vake we muna mubara manje setizachita naibwa ni mukuru anavosanka aziva vosanka koma iwe ndichimona kuti ni mwana so ine noona kuti sogolo yabwino ya mayouth kusogolo uku kulibe.
Are we realizing responsible youth? No. The fact is a lot of things happening. As youths, as parents, we are not raising responsible youths because we have forgotten the custom, duties and norms which our parents used to give us. But currently, we have followed the culture which is alien to us. That's English culture. So we are raising our children growing and responsible. We are not giving them guidelines so that they can become responsible youths. For example, there are a lot of street kids and junkies which are coming from decent homes, but lack of parenting, you find that both parents are working and they have left their children to the maids who are not responsible. The duties of the parents have gone to the drain because of the work. Most of the parents are spending all the time working. For example, they are coming around 22 hours, leaving the children to tend for themselves, which is raising a lot of concern. The children are exposed to phones, and phones, they have apps like pornography, drugs. So the children are engaging into drugs, they are engaging into oral sex. You find that we are not raising good children. We are raising the so-called junkies in the society. As a result, the result is we are having attacks. Junkies attacking parents in the compound, abusing drugs, thieves, criminals, gangs. So we are not raising responsible children. So the main essence, the main problem is the parenting of nowadays. As we can take a leaf of parents in the 80s, 90s and the likes, they used to be responsible. You find that the mother will remain at home, teaching the children the morals, taking them to church, teaching them the basics, how to clean plates, how to look after themselves, how to clean beds. But currently we're employing maids, and maids are the one doing everything for our children. You find that the children will grow up without even cooking, without even doing the house chores. They don't know anything. So we are raising a very wild and irresponsible nation we are building. They say the youth are the future of tomorrow. So where we are going is very, very dangerous. We fear for ourselves because we will raise rebels, junkies, criminals, thieves who are going to take over the country, which is raising a concern. As an African culture, we have run away from our tradition, customs and norms, so which is very, very bad precedents we are setting up. So as a parent, let us organize ourselves. At least we take responsibility of our children so that we can raise a good nation. A good nation can prosper and can bring peace, development to their country. That's my explanation.
Wow, raising responsible youths. We've heard it from the people out there. Well, what you say about that? You've heard they've talked about there's this the blame on the parent side, even the children themselves. Parents are scared to control the children. Still, my human rights. What did you say about that?
Yeah, I would like to agree to some extent, but in this way, with what our mother said. Before I come to that, I want to bring a point of reconciliation between associations, communities, organizations, and families. There should be a point of reconciliation and a point to which they complement each other, not to contradict. But at the end of the day, we want to raise
a responsible youth.
One thing. Yes, so if families, the values is pointing to this direction, and the organization is pointing to this organization, to this direction, then we've already lost a child.
Exactly, true.
So what you said is 100% true, because I have seen it. I also deal with organization. I have seen it, a young child just reporting the mother to say she has taken the phone away from me, and you should do about it, something about it. Now in my heart I was like, in our times you can stand before your father or your mother and say one or two things. At least by that time you would have been crying. So where has that gone? So me, the major compliment that I'll give is between families and organization or the human rights, there should be a point of reconciliation where organization, they'll be able to tell them to say, you've got rights. Yes, rights are meant to be exercised with responsibility. So here you have jumped the line, girl, so you just need to go and apologize to your mother. Here there's no valuation of human rights. You are just, you jumped the line. That is your mother, that is your father, that is your guardian. Then when it comes also to the family, it should also be the same. The problem that comes in here is like, we sort of, to some extent, begin to attack the norms of what the family is. Now, I want to be gotten clear here. We must be very aware and careful that there are certain agendas that have been brought in the world, not because they want to safeguard humanity, but some of them have come specifically with an agenda to fight families. So you might think as if this is promoting a good agenda for children, but at the end of the day, it is killing families. So there should be a point in which organizations are able to complement what family foundation and values are.
Exactly.
So when a mother says, sit down, no phone in this house, that is what the mother has seen better and how to raise the children, because families are dynamic and families are not the same. So them, they've seen that that is better. So the organization should not strictly begin to say, that's your right, that's the one. They should be able to say, why have you put these restricting orders on the child? Then the organization and the family, they speak one thing and the child is going to have one. They should not find a breathing space where they should become irresponsible. Everywhere it is wrong. Even here it is wrong. And that's where they're going to say, I think I need to stop this. But if there's a way in which something baptizes their behavior, then we are going to lose the children. And this is how we have also lost quite a number. So the bottom line is reconciliation of what organizations are saying, what the police are saying, and what families are saying. Then the children are going to pick one and the same thing. You should know that it is a bit tricky when a child is growing up. They always have a curiosity disposition. Exactly. They want to check something that is favorable for them so that they continue with their curiosity. So if something is not killing their curiosity, then they'll go with their misbehaving. So something should be able to kill it, and if all institutions are speaking the same, then it's done.
I know you have all this information flowing.
Exactly.
Your concluding remarks to the topic that we had, which is raising responsible
youths. I'll first use the words that Plato said, that you have been entrusted to you to yourself.
Exactly.
I want to say to the young people that at the end of the day, that is your life. Parents can do what they can, families can do what they can, organizations can do what they can, but at the end of the day, this life is in your hands.
True.
Now, I don't know what kind of life you want to bring out of yourself. You still want to become below average, an average person, or you want to make something great about yourself. So responsibility should start with you as an individual. Then let families complement that. Let the church complement that. And let organization complement that. Families, I know it's disheartening and sad and hard, but do not give up on your children. As a matter of fact, pray for them, but also show up for them. Institution, show up for them always, so that these people become more and more responsible. But I just want you to think about this over this weekend. What do you want to bring out of the life that have been given? And I think that is what to begin to give you the space of who you want to become.
Well, Paul, it's been a pleasure having you on Lumen Morning Diary. Thank you for sharing
and educating us.
Yes.
Thank you so much, and thank you for the invitation.
Yes, we've learned a lot.
Wish to have you back on stage anytime soon.
Sure, anytime.
That was Paul Phiri, an author of It's Never Enough, I Wish to Blame, and the CEO of Gifted Minds. For now, we got on a break. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
watching Lumen TV Zambia. Light of the nation.
Wow, welcome back. That was quite interesting, and I've learned a lot of things in the background where we're looking at bridging the gap between the family, government, and civil society organizations. What a brilliant topic can it be in future if all those can be present to represent themselves. How was it?
It was been an amazing journey, starting from what's trending, Food for the Soul with Father, health segment, and the topic that we had, raising responsible youths.
I think this topic gives us a question, like Paul had mentioned: what type of life do we want to live? By the end of the day, it's not because my mother failed to raise me or my father. I, as Genara, what life do I want for myself? What life do I want for my kids in future?
Not forgetting, Henry, the good news that Lumen has. We are countrywide. We want to hear from you, our dear viewers, where you are watching us from. You can share with us what you want us to bring for you. You can share your stories. We want to interact with you.
And also on the health segment, We Care For You will be bringing to you exciting programs that will keep you healthy every time you are watching this program. You'll be vitalized and enjoy the show.
And don't forget to be part of our crew. You can come and sponsor this show. We are really patiently waiting for people to come and sponsor us, no matter what business that you have. Be a small-scale business owner or a large business owner. Please feel free and come to our studios.
Oh, yes. It's been a wonderful journey from us. It's bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Great news to all our viewers, followers, supporters, and friends. After a long wait, we are glad to announce a significant expansion of Lumen TV coverage. You can now catch the Lumen TV signal not only in Lusaka, but also in the following cities and surrounding areas on Topstar Channel 101, Kitwe, Apirimposhi, Kabwe, Dola, Chingola, Afiwe, Mansa, Chipata, Solwezi, Mongu, Livingstone, Kasama, Choma, Mazabuka, and Chinsali. If you are in any of these areas and have a Topstar decoder, please let us know if you are receiving the signal. Your feedback is important. Oh, you don't have a Topstar decoder yet? Topstar decoders are affordable, and the subscription packages are designed to fit every budget. Get yourself one and watch Lumen TV. Lumen TV is growing, and we are not stopping here. We are committed to bringing quality programming and continue to improve our efforts of evangelization using this tool, Lumen TV, the national Catholic TV station in Zambia. We'd like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to all the dioceses, supporters, friends of Lumen TV, and all the viewers who have made this expansion possible. And we still seek your continued support so that Lumen TV grows even more. Be part of this story. Your contributions go a long, long way.